Hello, welcome to 12-Minute Meditation. This is a weekly podcast from Mindful and mindful.org that offers mindfulness meditations that are backed by neuroscience. The latest scientific research reveals that 12 minutes of meditation a day can yield benefits like increased attention, focus, creativity, calm, and resilience. So on this podcast, we invite you to do your 12-minute practice following guided meditations from today's leading mindfulness experts. We bring you a new practice each week to help you make space for the benefits of mindfulness in your daily life. I'm Stephanie Domet, the managing editor at Mindful and mindful.org, and this week, Rose Felix Cratsley offers a meditation to honor equity. The equity breath practice uplifts and celebrates the power of pausing together. In this mindfulness framework, each letter of the word breath serves to remind us of our responsibility to ourselves and to others to honor and promote equity. So B invites us to breathe for belonging, R for restoration and renewal, E to exercise equity, A to activate and advocate, T asks us to trust the power, H is for healing. Rose Felix Cratsley is the founder and president of Ivy Child International. That's a nonprofit that develops global mental health initiatives for children, families, and communities. And Rose is one of the 10 powerful women of the Mindfulness Movement 2022. You can read more about her and her colleagues in the August issue of Mindful, which will soon be on newsstands or on mindful.org later this month. If you feel inclined, please review this podcast. Your review can help other listeners decide whether 12-minute meditation is right for them. For now, for you, here's Rose Felix Cratsley.
To begin this practice, let's seat ourselves in deep gratitude for all those who have come before us, who have paved the way for us to sit in this moment with a sense of relative safety, whose tireless efforts allow us to be and move with the spaces and places we navigate each day. Acknowledging the responsibility we also share in making the world a better place than we found it. In this way, we recognize our own sense of belonging as we take time now at the start of our practice to breathe for belonging. Let's pause for a few breaths to allow us to focus on our breathing for belonging. As we continue to focus on the positive elements of belonging in our own lives and our gratitude for all that has made this possible, let us allow ourselves to begin to feel a sense of restoration and renewal. Belonging, restoration, and renewal. The first two letters of our equity breath will prepare us to receive the world with as much positivity and energy as we can. With this in mind, take time now to continue to breathe for belonging and also for our personal restoration and renewal, as well as our collective restoration and renewal. Allowing a welcome pause for several breaths to focus on restoration and renewal. Having taken time to turn inward and focus on our sense of belonging, restoration, and renewal, let's now turn our attention outward to the rich diversity of people in our lives and everyday interactions. In this way, we will begin to reflect on how we exercise equity, as well as activate and advocate for that equity. The E and A in our equity breath. Let us breathe, turning all our attention and focus to devoting and opening our hearts and minds and our whole selves to the vast intersectionality of our world, in ways that we examine who holds power and the practices across our communities and across facets of our society, deeply grounded in the ways that we live, work, and play. In our collective efforts to advance intersectional equity, may we take the necessary steps further by recognizing and valuing each of our multiple identities as we continue to breathe together. May we exercise equity through our genuine care and concern for one another, sharing an openness, curiosity, an invitation to participate, broadening access, opportunity, collaboration and co-creation with those at the heart of being impacted by the many institutions, systems, and communities. Those most affected, holding in our hearts and directing this practice towards justice for those most vulnerable. May we breathe for safety for ourselves and one another. May we breathe together and breathe for justice, for the positive change we seek each day in the daily march towards social justice. May we honor and nourish the relationships so necessary in advancing equity in our world, as this cannot be done alone. Let's pause and enjoy a few breaths to allow focus on our potential, our vast, deep potential to exercise equity, to activate and advocate. Anchoring ourselves in our equity breath as we now turn ourselves to the close of our practice. Our breath as a tool to focus on breathing for belonging. Restoration and renewal. Exercising equity. Activating and advocating. Trusting the path and healing through hope. Holding ourselves with the utmost compassion, we move into these two elements of our equity breath, allowing ourselves to trust the path and heal through hope. Raising our awareness to our breath as we bring our awareness to breathing in and simply breathing out. Aware of our body, let us release all of the tension and pain, raising our awareness of our heart, opening our heart, welcoming tenderness to heart. Raising our awareness to our emotions, holding in compassion, smiling, easing and releasing with the breath. As we notice our own suffering, raising our awareness, noticing how it manifests in our body, in our emotions, in our tone, in our words and actions. Holding the suffering with deep compassion, easing suffering with the beautiful power of our breath. Being aware of the suffering as a pattern in the world, visualizing how it affects so many. As we take in this pattern of suffering, holding in compassion, sending ease with each out-breath, and a wish for relief. As we notice the suffering of others, what are you aware of? What do you feel in your body, emotions? Hold with compassion, sending ease and relief to your mind. Slowly returning your awareness to your breath, welcoming ease, and with each out-breath releasing any tension. Noticing the suffering of those that hold privilege, seeing specifics, guilt, disconnection, feeling this energy and holding it with deep compassion as we release with ease and send relief. Returning our awareness to our breath and our entire body, specifically our head, our heart, our hands and feet, raising awareness to our whole being. Coming from our awareness, honoring our deepest intentions to address suffering and what we need to do in order to create conditions to thrive. Strengthening and bringing into awareness the steps we might take next. How does this feel in our body, in our head, heart, hands and feet? Our emotions. What are you, what are we carrying forth from today? Thank you wholeheartedly for taking this time for yourself and for others to focus on our equity breath.
Thank you for listening to this episode of 12-Minute Meditation from Mindful and mindful.org. I hope you enjoyed practicing with us, and we'll be back in 7 days with another meditation for you.